What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Lonnie Z, and this is Phase Fantasy Live Week 1. We are so excited. It's finally here, 2 days away from kickoff. With me tonight, as usual, is my partner in crime, Jake Hansen. What's going on, Jake? How you doing, brother?
Let's go. I'm ready.
Let's
2 days.
let's
Let's
go.
go. It's gonna be a fun one. I'm ready. I think every year we say the same thing. Oh, it's gonna be exciting this year, this and that, but it's gonna be a fun year. We got a couple good rookie quarterbacks starting this year. Just gonna be some excitement there. So I'm ready.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. It's gonna be a great season, I think. Already in the off season. There's a bunch of stuff. Let's start off today with some injuries. As we're recording this, it is Tuesday the 3rd. Now let's get into some injuries and some top headlines. We're going to talk about some of the big headlines in the NFL. I know a lot of people were concerned about Christian McCaffrey. He's the consensus number one. He either went number 1, 2, or 3 in everyone's draft this year. And so he had the calf injury, but um, all reports are that he's going to be fine. He start working out again this week with the team, and that he'll be good to go on Monday night in week 1. And then they got Trent Williams back, and because they got Trent Williams back, man, that's going to help him and Purdy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big help on both those guys for sure, and it's a big help because I think for McCaffrey to make it this year, they need to cut down some of his carries, and that's going to help. The young guys with Jordan Mason. Mitchell went on the IR for the year, so you got Jordan Mason, you got Patrick Taylor, and you got the kid Gordano. It's kind of hard to explain to say that name, but Trent Williams is a big help for Purdy and McCaffrey, and I agree. I mean, if they didn't have him coming back, it would have been a little tough.
Yeah, I agree, man. So that's good news for 49er fans, but for fantasy fans, for fantasy owners of Christian McCaffrey.
That's a big help.
Out of Minnesota's camp, it looks like Jordan Addison is on track. He started practicing again with the team this week, and it looks like he's on track to start Sunday in New York against the Giants. Yeah, but now Jalen Naylor, their number 3 receiver, is injured. They're not sure. They don't think he's going to be ready to go for week 1. So we'll see. But that does open the door for Jackson, who had a great training camp, and we'll see if he can. He was already going to start challenging for that number 3 slot, number 3 spot. So we'll see. What do you got on the injury front?
One thing about the Vikings about that, Aaron Jones does catch a lot of the backfield, so that will help too if they don't have a Naylor back. I have DeAndre Hopkins. He's right on the line that he might be playing this weekend. To play opposite of Ridley, and then Josh Downs. They said he's progressing, but I'm hearing a lot of that he might not play, and I think that's going to open a big for Adonai Mitchell. Like Adonai Mitchell's a big sleeper this weekend if Josh Down does not play.
Yeah, I agree, man. Adonai Mitchell's that will open up a lot for him, for sure. And um, you know, um, Josh Downs, man, he can. I think the Colts really need him, though.
Yep.
He showed that he's good. So I think the Colts really need him. So hopefully he'll get back on the field. And just to kind of piggyback off of the D Hop, man, Will Levis and D Hop, they kind of had their moments last year. And I think if D Hop is healthy all year and this is Will's second year now, man, they might surprise some of us. You know what I'm saying? They really might, because they did seem like they had some chemistry building last year. So we'll have to see how that goes.
And Calvin Ridley, they say throughout the camp, he just looked like a grown man. He was on it. I mean, he signed a $90 million contract, and they said he was on it all year. Just looked like a different person from last year. And he didn't do too bad last year in the beginning, but yeah, you're right though. With Pollard and Sharp, in the backfield and with those two
Yep.
guys, yeah, it could be something.
And with Ridley, man, last year was like his first year back.
Hmm.
He had been off for a couple seasons basically
About
for
yeah.
for whatever the reasons. And um last year he had to, maybe he just wasn't into it just yet.
Hmm.
You got to get back in football shape, and so this could be a bounce back year for Ridley. They definitely have upgraded since last year. Their offense, 100%. Um, Out of the Browns camp, David Njoku should be fine. He
Yep.
started. I don't know. He had some freak fire accident or something.
Last
It was,
yeah.
you
Well, they
know,
said
but
he's been sore since last year. His knee, same, just
yeah.
sore knee, shoulder from last year. Just it's from last year.
Hmm.
They keep saying. There's another tight end. Antonio Pierce said that he hopes to see Bowers play. They they think he's going to play this weekend, but it's not 100%.
Bro,
But
that'd be cool.
yep, yeah, I would like to see that. There's a lot
Yeah,
of hype to that kid right now. Everybody talking about him, so we'll see.
exactly. And what a way to start your career, hurt.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, there is a lot of buzz about Brock Bowers. Um, in other news, the Cincinnati Bengals, man, they got a problem on their hands. Big, big problem.
Hmm.
JaMarr Chase, he'll sit out the whole year, bro. I mean, I mean, he forewent one of his college years, so he increased his
Hmm.
stock in the
Hmm.
draft. So this kid is not, worried about that kind of stuff. And as of today, reports are that they're not really close yet on getting a deal done. They want to get a deal done, but the issue is JaMarr Chase has 2 years left on his rookie contract,
Yep.
and he wants Justin Jefferson money.
Hmm.
But even Jefferson waited and played out, pretty much played out his contract before they restructured it, and uh, they did make an exception. The Bengals, they don't really do that. They don't pay their players before their rookie contracts are up. They did one exception, and that was for Joe Burrow. Bro, that's Joe Burrow. But Jamar's like, hey, I'm JaMarr Chase.
Hmm.
But I don't know, bro. If I took JaMarr Chase with one of the first 5 picks in this year's draft, I'd be a little nervous right now, to be honest with you.
I
What
mean,
do you
that's the
think about
reason.
Chase?
No, I mean that's the reason I didn't take Chase. That's the reason I didn't take Ayuk. And then Ayuk comes out today and says, "Oh, it's been good for the last whole month." Did you hear that? Did you hear
Yeah,
that? He comes out today and goes, "Everything's been good for the last month. I wasn't going nowhere. Every week it was I'm going to he's going to the Steelers, he's going to the Browns, going to the
right.
Patriots." Then he says, "Oh, part of this was my fault," and he got the same deal that So, but that's why I didn't draft Ayuk, and I had a feeling he was going to sign, but Ayuk, Chase, Chase though has been there every practice. Like Ayuk,
Yeah,
he was there off and on. Chase has been there every practice, traveled with the team to every game. Ayuk didn't travel every game. He
yeah,
traveled to the Raider game. That was it. So Chase, nobody thought that was an issue. He came and practiced. He came and practiced after the last game, after the last preseason game. He showed up to practice. So the coach goes out there and says he's back and all that. And then like what next day, it's like, maybe not.
Well, what I
You
heard is
know,
he's been there, but he hasn't been practicing.
no,
And
yeah,
even
he
when he
hasn't been
showed up,
practicing, but he's
he didn't
there.
even
But he
practice. Yeah,
shows.
he's
But he
there.
shows up. Yep.
Exactly. So I don't know, man.
Well,
For
they
week
couldn't sign
one,
T. Higgins. T. Higgins on the franchise. They didn't sign him. And then you're not going to sign Chase. That was the reason you didn't sign Higgins. So something's got to break.
right? Yeah.
And
But bro,
you think Joe Burrow will probably be like, come on, man. Come on.
for sure. But I can't see him giving Justin Jefferson money. He hasn't done what Jefferson's done yet, bro.
No.
I mean, and I know he has that kind of upside. I get it. But CeeDee Lamb didn't even get Justin Jefferson money.
Mm.
But let's just get the record straight right here and now. And I'm not trying to be biased. Neither one of those guys are better than Jefferson. They're both really, really good. They're pretty close. But Jefferson has done some things in his first 5 years that like no rookie, no one has done in all this time. So Uh, I think Jefferson's deserves what he got. I
Mm-hmm.
think CD deserves what he got. But think about it. CD's had one elite season. One.
Last year.
Jefferson has had five elite. Well, last year he was hurt, missed all these games, still caught 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So CD had one elite season, got a big payday. I'm not mad at him. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Chase, he's been hurt off and on. You know, so I don't know, man. I
No,
don't know.
for the money they want, and even Brandon Ayuk, I didn't agree with that money either. He had one good year. I mean, yeah, the years before they were all right years, but you have one good year and you want over 120 million.
Yeah, yeah,
It's that kind of league right now that you could just hold it above everybody's head and get what you want.
exactly. I agree. Um, Talking about contracts and all that. So CeeDee Lamb, he gets paid. He comes to practice. He looks good. I think in week one he should be fine. But he hadn't practiced with the team the whole offseason,
Hmm.
camp, none of that. And it takes a minute, man, to get your football legs under you, start getting hit, all those things. Are you concerned at all with him being all right for week one, like pulling a hammy or anything like that?
I'm concerned with both of them. CeeDee Lamb, I'm concerned with Chase. With all three of them, and I'm concerned with Ayuk. It just seems like every year when somebody gets their bag, somebody gets hurt.
Yep.
Nick Bosa didn't show up training camp all last year. I think he showed up the last week of practice, and he was not Nick Bosa. Slow, looked out of shape. Uh, just didn't look as fast as he usually does with his hands. And he actually said that this year in training camp was, me not being at training camp last year ruined me.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ayuk and them. They use their leg. I mean, they're running more sprint. They're running more with more speed and with more agility than the D linemen. So, yeah, out of those three, I could see something happen. To be honest with you, soft tissue injuries. And I'm being honest. I was thinking about that before you asked me that. Yeah, I have a little worry. But the thing is, Ayuk's
Mhm.
played with Purdy last year. Chase has played with Joe for the last 3 years, and CD's been playing with Dak. So chemistry wise, I'm not worried about that. But injuries, yeah, I'm worried.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. It's not good. It's not good. And I know this is a business. I know these guys got to get paid, but it is not good. The last guy I got on this list for me, you may have a couple more, or whatever, but I got Tyreek. Um, Between him and Waddle, Mike McDaniel came out today. I believe it was today, earlier today, and said that they're progressing great. He expected them both at practice today, practicing.
Mhm.
And unless there's a setback, he doesn't think that there's going to be a problem for week one. That's good news because Tyreek's another one of those elites, man. He's another one who got the bag. He's another, he was voted the number, he was the out of the players top 100. Tyreek was number one. So the
Mhm.
players all voted. Bro, I want to talk to you about that too, but we can get into that in a minute. I forgot all about that. I may want to touch on that list, and I can't argue with it because the players voted it. They
Mhm.
vote who they think. But man, come on, man. They got CD at number 6 or 5 or 7, somewhere around there, and Jefferson at number 11. Come on, man. I just
Because
whatever.
Jefferson got hurt last year. It was
Yeah,
about last
yeah.
year. It's about every ranking's new every year because he got
That's
hurt
true.
last year.
That's true. My homer's coming out already this season. We haven't even played a game yet. I'm already sounding like a homer. What do you
So I
think
got
about
one for
Tyreek?
I got one for you. So, well, for Tyreek, yeah, I don't. His age is coming, getting there, but him and Waddle are both gonna be ready, and until they slow him down, it's kind of hard to say anything bad about Tyreek. And especially against Jacksonville
Yeah.
this weekend, it's I know we haven't talked about it yet, but I was looking at a lot of the DFS with DraftKings and FanDuel, and I was looking at Tua, man. Oh man, just Achan's healthy, a little backfield play. I was like, Tua might be good to play. He was cheap, so So what I was going to ask you, Lonnie, is are you worried about Kirk Cousins at all coming back? Kirk Cousins hasn't played all training camp. So I'm going to ask you about both. So Kyler Murray and Kirk Cousins, no training camp. I mean, they did training camp, but no preseason at all, not even a series. I mean, I'm more worried about the whole Kyler Murray thing because he wasn't getting in to play with Marvin Harrison. He wasn't getting a good chemistry with the team when he only played 6 games last year, 6, 7 games. Kirk Cousins, I was a little worried because he hasn't played with this team at all. Training camp, one-on-ones a little bit, but I thought maybe they should have brought him in the third game, the first couple series, and then just sat him. But he don't have nothing with them yet. So I think Atlanta's going to beat Pittsburgh. I mean, on paper, but I just got a thing in the back of my head, about Cousins just not playing all year, most of last season with the Achilles, and then not playing no preseason. I was just kind of worried about that.
Yeah, I think Kurt will be all right. But it may take him some time to get back into football. Like you're saying, he didn't
Mhm.
play any of the preseason, but I think he's an old vet, man. And coming off that Achilles, they probably wanted to give him as much time as possible.
Mhm.
I think week one he's going to be fine. I mean, there's probably going to be some rust because think about it. Kirk Cousins, it seemed like last year was finally, or the year before last, when they won 13 games, when the Vikings won those 13-3 or 13-4. Um, Cousins looked like I'd never seen him before. He was nimble in the pocket. He was getting around. He was releasing the ball a little quicker, all those things. And we're like, finally, man, Kirk Cousins is finally, showing us something. So I think those instincts, it's going to take a minute. It may be a few games he's going to have to get under his belt. So yeah,
Mhm.
you bring up a good point there, man. Maybe to keep an eye on Kurt. I wouldn't stream him this week. I wouldn't stream him, but he does have a good team to play with.
Mhm.
Definitely. I'm not going to say a full upgrade, but he ain't lacking much there. I mean, he's
No.
got a better running back,
Mhm.
a receiver. I mean, obviously he doesn't have Jefferson, but he has a really good receiver and he
Mhm.
has a really good tight end,
Yep.
you know. So if he gets the system down or he has the system down, he should be all right. Thanks for listening. I'm Lonnie. He is Jake, and we will catch you on the next one.